And on this segment of Dark Oddity, I wanted to talk about, since we're speaking of dreams, I wanted to talk about a woman. Her name was Reyna Marroquin. She was born in 1941, and in 1969, she seemingly disappeared off the face of the earth. And for years, they tried to find out where she was, and nobody could locate her. Her mother was being interviewed by a local journalist, and she kept having dreams of her daughter stuck in a barrel somewhere. And turns out, in 1999, 30 years later, they find Reyna Marroquin in a 55-gallon drum. She was murdered. She was having an affair with her boss. She became pregnant, and the guy murdered her, stuck her in a barrel, and left her in a crawl space in his attic for 30, for over, actually 40 years, because he killed her. By the time they found her, the new people who bought the house finally decided to clear out the crawl space, and they're like, let's get rid of this 55-gallon drum. Wow. And they couldn't even really move it. So they opened it up and they found her in there.
How do you fit a 55-gallon drum in a crawl space?
I remember seeing the news story of this in '99.
And her mother was having dreams of her stuck in a barrel.
Wow.
And it turns out
local
they found...
No, I don't think so.
When they found her, they inspected the drum she was in, which had been manufactured by the company she had worked for. She was having an affair with her boss.
Morbid.
They went to him for a DNA test. They went back to check the DNA because she was pregnant of the fetus that was in her dead carcass. And it matched. And when they went to arrest him, they found him with a gunshot wound to the head in the backseat of his car.
Can I just say, whoa, yes, absolutely.
Heavy stuff.
What kind of investigation did the police do back then? I mean, come on.
There's a barrel in the crawl space.
A barrel, and the guy makes barrels. She went missing, and she worked for him.
They were a plastic flower factory. They would make plastic flowers. The drum was from the color that they used. So it was filled with this powdered for the color base. And they would use the stuff from the barrel, make the color for the flowers.
Well, did they even know that there was an affair going on? Maybe they didn't know.
I
think there was a friend that knew about it. Wasn't there a friend that knew about the affair?
I have nothing about that.
Around,
That's
evidently they didn't do too much detective work because she's...
That's horrible.
He sold the house in 1972, so she was in his attic for another 3 years after he murdered her, and the cops never checked the house or the crawl space.
Did he live alone?
No, he lived with his wife.
No, he was married.
And him and his wife sold the house, moved to Boca Raton, and the new people bought the house and left it in there for the next 30-something years.
Was she in the coloring?
No, he just filled it with plastic pellets and her body.
But the
Airtight barrel.
Airtight,
Yeah.
It was one of those that's sealed completely.
And when they opened it, the story says that it was a lot of liquid in there, and the stench was just unbelievable.
God, that's horrible.
The decomp would be a lot less. It would take a lot longer if it was airtight.
She was
30 years
putrefied
or something like.
Right.
It was like a mummy.
That is
almost.
true too.
It depends on the environment in there, and that definitely wasn't a good environment.
It would also
She was
depend
putrefied.
on how she was in the barrel.
But yeah,
Well, look at
sad
the
story.
fact
Crawl
that her
space was in
mother
the
was
attic?
having the dream.
No, I was downstairs.
Or down in the basement. Crawl spaces are a lot of times.
Downstairs.
Now I'm going to figure that her
I said
mother
attic.
wasn't...
You
Was
did
her
say
mother...
attic. You said crawl space.
said
too.
It's a crawl space.
Well, some
It
attics are
says.
a crawl space means you can't stand up in it.
Yeah.
They
That's all
said
it
the
is.
barrel was like 300 plus pounds. He
Right.
left it downstairs. There's no way he could get it.
Oh, I
That's
don't
what I was.
know.
That's
Well, if you put the
valid,
barrel
yeah.
up there
Well,
first,
Right, if you
then
put
drag
the
the body up there,
Also
you could.
valid.
I'm going to figure that her mother was gone by this time, right? When
No,
they
her
found
mother lived to 105 years old.
So her mother
Her mother died a year, less than a year after they found her.
But she did get to learn of that that they
Yes,
found her
and she
daughter.
died afterwards. Yeah,
Wow,
That
and the
entry
fact
after they
that her
found her.
dreams were correct. Can you imagine that?
frustrating.
she died at 105 years old. The mother.
Wow. It was almost like she was waiting. She was
She
way
couldn't go
young.
until she
She
found
had
out.
to
Well,
learn.
I hope she had an opportunity to bitch slap the detectives that were
Yeah,
Right?
for real.
Wow.
And then and
Gosh.
they buried her with her mother in San Salvador, I believe it was.
Wow,
So sad story.
that is.
Oh, Bryce, you really know how to change the feeling of a room.
And that's
Yeah,
why
he
it's
walked
the
in it.
oddity.
Right.
Right till next episode.
The oddest things in the world come out
Yeah.
of Joe's mouth.
Don't.
What goes in?
Must come out.
Well, we know this Joe is Tortellini.
Tortellini.
You want some?
So, but that just proves that you travel and you connect,
Right,
and
well,
you dream.
Like you said, you somehow
You're
receive
open.
information
Exactly.
from somewhere
so
else that you
can't
don't
shut
have
it
access
down
to.
You can't
because
dispute that.
important information can come through.
How did she know that accurately?
Exactly.
That means, yeah.
No,
It wasn't like
Somebody
symbolic,
was-
like she was trapped in
Well,
a room.
Somebody
I mean-
was communicating
Right,
with her,
like
whether it was her
cylindrical
daughter
room,
or
Exactly.
otherworldly
Yeah,
beings,
right.
but somebody was letting her know, you know.
Right. In the realm where it's easier to get the message.
Yeah.
When we're not so busy with the monkey mind.
Well, it had to be her spirit, don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so.
Hey, Mom, I was killed. I'm in
I
a
would,
barrel.
I would think so.
Well,
That
and not being
that's
part of the
scripted.
actual story or being there, you don't know if this woman. Look, I tried to tie it in with the dream sequence to the show about dreams, but we don't know the full story that maybe the mother actually did see her daughter's spirit and said it's a dream just because she was afraid to tell people I'm seeing my dead daughter
Right,
standing in the corner telling me
Saw
she's
the
in the
ghost.
barrel.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
yeah.
It is.
Because
So
possible.
you never
News
know.
story.
Right, you don't know.
You never know.
At that time, it's
True.
taking a Bellevue.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
It was a long time ago at this
Exactly.
point.
I mean, even
It's
today they
possible.
want to take you to Bellevue for that, but
Burn them! We got some lovely brooms for you!
Just rock your way out.
all right. So that'll wrap up today's episode.